Yeah, we are ecstatic to be in the final of this competition. It's a competition that was highlighted on our calendar, as well as the MLS for sure, the first half of the season. And so far, we've accomplished the goals that we've set for ourselves, and there's one more to go. And I can share with you, the atmosphere in the locker room right now is obviously a happy one, but also a focused one and a hungry one. This team wants to win a final now, and we will watch with a close and attentive eye tomorrow who our opponent will be, and do our homework and get the group ready. But in the meantime, it's recovering and gathering some points in the MLS.
We'll go to questions here in house. Go ahead, Kathy.
Steve, what have you seen from the group? You mentioned, of course, right now they're happy they're celebrating, but over the course of the competition, just how locked in they've been, focused on that goal, that initial goal that was to reach the final?
I think keeping the group focused from week to week and game to game is important, and they have shown they can turn it around quickly. We don't dwell on successes too much, nor do we dwell on games that didn't go our way. And I think recovering physically but mentally is more important than physically. So that's been really key for this group, and I'm very proud of them for that, as well as all the staff. And I think that's obviously something we'll continue to do. But tonight, our performance in comparison to the other night, I think was in some ways for me, I would describe it as being a little more professional, better managed. The game was better managed. We had more control of the game, and the ups and downs of the game. And I thought that's something we really wanted to improve on from the other night. And I think I can say a job well done from the guys, and we're able to put the game on our terms and not Philly's like it was the other night.
Steve, you guys are 9-1-4 across all competitions this year. Jim was just in here. He called you arguably the greatest team in MLS history already. I'm not expecting you to agree with that, but how do you maintain this level the way you guys have, showing up in every single game and getting a result almost every single time it mattered?
I appreciate the comments from Jim, but I definitely don't agree. There's still a lot of work to be done to say that, and I think it's a lot of what I just mentioned. It's really focusing on what's next and not being happy with what we did tonight and not be happy with what we did the other night. There's always room for improvement, and from day one of last season, also this season, we made it very clear in the locker room that we're going to need every single player at any possible moment. And when it's your turn on the field, you have to give everything for LAFC and put LAFC in a position to win games. And it's about LAFC, and it's not about individuals, and it's not about a coach or a player or whoever. It's about this organization. And I think that message has been delivered loud and clear and implemented pretty much week to week by these players, which is fantastic.
Steve, Timothy, his performance tonight, what did you make of it, and how important was that first goal getting ahead in this match?
Yeah, I think it really sets the tone. I think we wanted to be the aggressor tonight and to play towards goal and to create chances, and we did exactly that. And as it so has to be against Philly, it's a set piece. As in many of our games are decided by set pieces. So, I'm happy for Timmy to get back in the starting lineup and to contribute again. Not happy with his cramping. I have to talk to him about his diet.
Steve over here up front. You talked a lot about the roster and just about how you say everybody has to be a part of it. And coming into the season, there was a lot made about Carlos Vela's role kind of just changing as a player on this team. Can you talk about his consistency? Because I know last time LAFC was in this tournament, it was very focused on him, and it was them against LAFC against Mexican teams. But now it just seems like he's just comfortable doing so many things. Can you talk about that progression and how he's getting to this point to be able to assist and control games the way he does?
Yeah, it speaks volumes about Carlos as an individual, as our captain, but also about his football intelligence. He understands whether he is the one attacking the goal or attacking the space, or he is coming underneath and creating situations for others, holding play up, holding the ball at the right moments, pushing the tempo at the right moments. He's a player you don't really have to coach. Just have to make a few things clear, give him a border, and he does the rest. And it's a joy to having to work with Carlos as well as many other players in this team. But he'll figure it out for sure. He's smart and experienced and physically in a position where he can still be dangerous and help this organization.
Hey, Steve, Celso Oliveira with Territorio. Just curious, the decision to start Mateos over Opoku, and then he comes in and scores the goal that essentially gets LAFC through. Was it talk to us about basically the ability to put someone on the bench and then they come in and decide the game, and essentially, like you said, it's a group. But what went through the decision making to make Mateos the starter? Thank you.
Yeah, we decide as a group, and we take a lot of factors into consideration. Training performances, past game performances, the amount of minutes and loading players are getting. With our schedules, I think you saw Philadelphia as well as us. We're asking a lot of these guys, and the way our rosters are all built, they're all pretty thin in compared to European organizations and teams who go through multiple competitions. It's very difficult, and we would love to see that change in the future, but maybe this isn't the right time to talk about that. And so, yeah, all of these factors are taken into consideration, and we felt bringing Mahala from the bench can give us a lot of energy and could possibly change the momentum of the game if needed. And he did exactly that. And Matty did excellent in the first half, holding the ball for us, battling defensively, working defensively, and always being kind of a player who's a little slippery and difficult to defend. And I think for tonight it was the right choice, and we'll remix the cards or reshuffle the cards Thursday to figure out what we'll do for Saturday.
I've got two for you, Steve. First one, you in the second half of that first leg, you made the change to go with like a double six. You had Kellen and Ilie. You decided to stick with it for this one. How did it help you on both sides of the ball? And then the other question is, when you get the group back together, as you said, it's time to pick up some points, continue to pick up points in MLS. So what do you say to the group about San Jose?
Yeah, we felt we had a much better grip on Philly with the double six and a 10 and the three attackers putting a little more pressure on their backs. We thought out of our normal 4-3-3, it was too easy for them to progress the ball forward, to hit dangerous diagonals and vertical passes from their center backs. And so, the idea is to step up the pressure a little bit, add another player in your press. And that seemed to work. Most of their direct play then was contested and then not always clean. And so it gave our defenders a little bit of advantage and took a little sting out of their attack. So against this team, that's seemed to be the right fix. And so if it's working, why change it? Was sort of our ideas for tonight. And it's still working. But we'll need something different for San Jose.
Why?
Because they play differently.
All right, we're going to go to some questions on Zoom, please.
Okay, thanks, Seth. I'm going to go. We've just got two questions here online. Let's start with Jonathan Tannenwald. Go ahead.
Thanks. Hi, Steve. Jonathan Tannenwald of the Philadelphia Inquirer. At the point that you just made about some of your tactical decisions, and they all worked, as you said. Outcoached might be too strong a word, but how much satisfaction do you take from knowing that you won the tactical battle in this series as decisively as you did and did outcoach Jim Curtin?
Zero. That's your subjective opinion, not mine. I think it doesn't matter. Painting a picture for your players and giving them the tools to make the decisions on the field, it's always free-flowing a little bit. It's not always X's and O's. It doesn't happen perfectly as we coaches draw it up with our magnets and there's more than magnets nowadays. There's paints and graphics and all of that stuff. So it's not always that way. It's decisions on the field, and it's for me, the way I try to coach players is coaching principles and habits and behaviors and giving your players the tools to make good decisions at the right moments. And tonight our players did that. So I'm happy that our ideas worked and the players felt comfortable with that. But again, I think our guys made a lot of good decisions tonight after they made poor ones the other night.
Thanks, Jonathan. We'll go to another Jonathan, Jonathan Siegel.
Hey, Steve. Jonathan here from MLS Soccer. You guys are following up or hoping to from Seattle's accomplishment last year. So what was that like watching them? And now to get an opportunity against the Liga MX team? There's obviously a big narrative around these two leagues that tends to now come to fruition in CCL finals as well.
Yeah, I think Liga MX, MLS, and Concacaf got their wish. So I think the tournament was planned out properly. Look, for us, it's a trophy. Whoever we play, we don't really care. We respect, obviously, our opponent, whether it's Tigres or León, greatly, and they're both fantastic teams, and it will be extremely difficult to beat either one of them. But yeah, Seattle paved the way for any MLS team that comes after them, and they did that in a very disciplined and hard-fought manner, and we'll try to do the same. But we'll wait tomorrow night, see who we play, and really I can't comment anymore on either squad, but both are excellent teams. They play in different ways, but both can beat you also in different ways. So we'll do our homework and we'll prepare our players. And one thing I can guarantee you is our players will do everything in their power to win a trophy because they like it, and they would like to make it a habit here at LAFC.